Brett and Joe with JohnFordLakers.com with a review for you of the Blackberry Storm for Verizon Wireless. I've had the phone since about a week before it came out, so I really had a chance to get to use it, learn the nuances of it, and even upgrade the firmware on it once to really give a sense of how the phone works and really can give me a unbiased and relatively thought out and thorough review on it. So, I hope you guys enjoy. First thing, it's a phone, so let's start out with call quality. Verizon's network, at least by me, is fantastic. It's certainly going to vary by location, but if you get good Verizon service, you're going to be very happy with the call quality on the phone. I heard no static or buzzing. People on the other end of the call reported no static or buzzing either. Very clear. They said it almost sounded like I was on a landline. So kudos to Verizon and Blackberry for that. But that's probably not what you're here for, and not what you're interested in the Storm for is for call quality. Storm does a lot of things, and it's supposed to do a lot of things, so let's talk about what it does well. Email is fantastic. You have the Blackberry email that you're used to on your curves, your bolds, your pearls, pearl flips, everything does email fantastic, exactly as advertised. It's a Blackberry after all. Email is certainly this phone's strong point. Now, some of the concerns I have with the phone that have become more and more problems as I continue to use it are actually the two touch mechanisms on the phone. So as I mentioned in my overview, it has a capacitive touchscreen, so when you touch it, it registers a click. And then you actually have to push in to use the function of whatever application you're using. So it's actually a double touch. You have to touch it once to select it, and then push in to actually open the application. Now that's a little bit iffy. Using applications throughout the phone, sometimes you only have to touch it, sometimes you have to click it, and it becomes a little bit unclear as to which applications you have to do which with. The big issue that I have with the phone is actually when you're typing. So when you go to type an SMS or an email, it pulls up a full keyboard, in landscape, and a sure type when it's up in portrait mode. Now, in order to type, and I've shown this in numerous videos on how to type on the Blackberry Storm, you have to actually push the keys all the way in to type. You have to wait for the screen to pop back up. So there's a little bit of delay for typing. I know a lot of people can type lightning fast on their other Blackberries, whether it's the Bold or the Curves, whatever. You're not going to have as fast a typing, and it's certainly not going to be that accurate. Compared to some other phones with on-screen keyboards, you can see what letter you're typing, meaning it'll pop up when you have your finger over it. Not so with this one. You just get a little blue color that hovers over the key, and it's often unclear what key you're pressing. So typing is extremely inaccurate when using the full keyboard. I found the only way to get even a modicum of accuracy was actually to use the sure type keyboard because the keys are just bigger. But again, not nearly as fast, not nearly as quick. I tried typing the same message using the sure type on the Storm and using the sure type on a Blackberry Pearl Flip with both similar keyboards. And I was able to type much, much, much quicker on the Pearl Flip with an actual tactile hardware keyboard. So that's something definitely to keep in mind. Internet browsing is something that Blackberry has really been working to improve upon, and they started their big improvements with the Blackberry Bold, really being able to render full HTML pages. And this is another area where the Blackberry Storm really does shine, is with web browsing. You get full, robust HTML websites. It does handle some Flash, but not so much. You can't view YouTube videos, for example, yet on it, and there isn't a dedicated YouTube player like there are on some other Windows mobile phones or on an iPhone, for example. So no YouTube videos on this yet. Media on the phone handles media spectacularly. As far as viewing videos, the screen is gorgeous. As far as listening to music, you've got a 3.5mm headset jack, which is located on the right-hand side of the device, and can handle all those tasks with relative ease. So now to get some more of the downsides. The operating system is extremely buggy. It feels almost as though RIM was rushed to get this to market before the holiday season. They fixed some of the problems with the software update, but still things like screen rotation aren't so quick, sometimes don't even register, or sometimes even too sensitive. I could be looking at the phone and just tilting it back a little bit, the screen will rotate. Even right now, it's not rotating back. You can see in the screen. That's actually a perfect example. See how long it takes for it to rotate back. Just kind of shake it, turn it again, and then turn it, and then finally it rotates back. That's just one example of kind of how buggy and quirky this can be. The click keyboard is a very interesting and unique approach to a phone, but it doesn't translate so well right now. That being said, I think RIM can really fix the platform with software updates, but I don't think the phone is ready for prime time right now. Like you just saw with screen rotation, applications can load very slowly. I've had numerous crashes. These are not things I'm familiar with Blackberry. Blackberries are known for their stability, their reliability, and their business workhorse. And the Storm just doesn't have that same feel and that same stability that other Blackberries do have. Like I said before, I think it can be fixed with software updates. But if you are thinking about getting a Storm, I recommend holding off until 2 or 3 software updates have come down the line and they can really fix it. Another issue with the phone, and I know people are reporting this in mass amounts of the devices, is the screen is less responsive in the corners when you go to click. Sometimes it doesn't even register at all, which can be quite annoying because sometimes you want to use the full area of the screen, especially for typing with the full keyboard. Some of the letters are in the bottom left or bottom right hand corners of the screen. Makes it quite difficult when they're not going to be recognized. There have been some sort of fixes like putting a piece of paper above the battery and things like that. Those aren't things you should have to do with the new phone, especially a phone that costs this much and this much for service. Things like that should just work out of the box. So I'm really disappointed with the RIM for that. That being said, I was really excited about the phone. I was, really hyped up about it. I thought it was going to be the first true, iPhone killer. I hate to mention the iPhone in a review here, but the iPhone is really set a standard for touchscreen devices. I thought it was going to be the killer, the one that really was going to knock Apple down a peg and really set RIM and Verizon up for the future, with future Storm devices. And they just haven't done that yet. If you're getting a phone expecting it to wow you and everything you want it to do very well, the Storm is really not for you. I recommend you look elsewhere. Now, why should you get the Storm? Well, if you're on Verizon or you really want to switch to Verizon service and you have to have a fully capable touchscreen email device, well, the Storm is really the only way to go. If you're on Verizon and you want to have a Blackberry, I still recommend using the Curve that they have on their service or their World Edition. But if you really need to have a full-featured web browser and you're okay with the quirks, it's not going to work perfectly, you're going to have some troubles typing, and the software hasn't been fixed yet, then go ahead and go with the Storm. But to me, those are a lot of compromises to make for a phone, no matter how much you might want it. So reasons not to get the Storm. Don't get the Storm because you hate Apple, or don't get the Storm because you hate the iPhone and you want to make a stand against it. That's not a reason. The phone's not a political statement. I've heard a lot of people say, I'm getting the Storm because I hate Apple. And you're allowed to hate Apple, you're allowed to dislike a company or its products. That's not a reason to go ahead and get a device like this. It's an expensive piece of hardware. It's also a 2-year commitment. You might not be happy for 2 years using a phone that is inherently buggy and very well may not be fixed with software. It's just my speculation and opinion that they're going to fix it, but I don't have any insider information on that. So don't get it because of that, and don't get it because you think it looks cool or you think it looks fun, because you are going to be grossly disappointed with the phone. I can't tell you how many times I've had to reset the device. You take it out of your pocket and you show your friends, look how cool I've got a Blackberry Storm. That wears off very quickly when you realize it takes 10 minutes to type a text message, or at least type it properly. It does have cut and paste and MMS, some really cool things that other phones may be missing, but it's still not enough to convince me to use it as my primary device. So guys, I hope this was helpful. Hope I answered some questions that you may have about the Blackberry Storm. Check out my other videos for some demonstrations, some browser comparisons. I did a head-to-head video with the iPhone. Actually, I did 2 of them. So, ask any questions that you'd like about the Storm. I'd be happy to answer them for you, or any other things that you'd like to see. Happy to answer them for you as well. Again, guys, my name is John Rettinger with JohnForLakers.com. If you want some exclusive content, be sure to follow me on Twitter at www.twitter.com/JohnForLakers. I will see you guys in the next video. I didn't do that much pointing this video, I don't think. So, that's cool. I'm trying to cut down on my finger pointing. Alright, see you in the next one. Bye, guys.